Hello, my cabbages. I apologize, we're a little late today. I was just eating dinner. I was a little late. I was eating dinner. I apologize, Bug. How's it going, guys? It's not, okay, stalling is when you're live. It's just called being late when you're late. I was late, yeah, for sure. Yeah, late dinner, 8:30. I know. We're doing a. I was honestly just. I was chilling with. I saw you in the. Yeah, we were having so much fun. I was playing Minecraft. I was watching Goth play Dispatch. Chris, how's it going, man? Penis. Oh shit! Is there for? Yeah, I know. You pop by for like a quick second. DSV, how's it going, man? Okay, FE. No, okay, so EXECH. Bench. But there's no N. So. Beach is actually a great one. Fuck. Shit, that was really good though, viewer. That was really good. Reach. Teach. Fucking bitch. Leech. Leech? Oh, there it is. There was no P, Bug. But we got there. Okay. Eye contact. Pupil. Bug is bugging a little, yeah. Revolutionary War. Trial. Judgment. Revolutionary. No, Revolution Metamorphosis might go somewhere with like change or something. Bullseye, how's it going, man? Long time no see. Trial, Judgment. Lap Circuit. Revolution Metamorphosis. Full Moon. I think that symbolize, like full moon symbolizes change for like vampires and werewolves and shit. Fuck, dude. I have a slight migraine today, so lights hitting me in the fucking eyes is circuit, lap, orbit, full moon. All right, let's see who's right. Bug, no. Full moon, revolution, orbit, sea change, no. It's one away, so it's got to be some. Hamong, how's it going, man? Long time no see. That's not quite true. I think I saw you yesterday, but so full moon, orbit, sea change. No, okay, so lap is in there. What, Olivia? Revolution, orbit, lap. Revolution, orbit, lap, circuit. Hey, complete turn, Luvion. Good shit, dude. Full moon, revolution. Okay. Moi, la lumière. Pea soup? What the fuck? It's a team effort, actually, dude. Judgment, trial, tea leaves. Tea leaves, because don't people tell the future with tea leaves or something? Something, I don't know. Judgment, trial, tea leaves, full moon? The fuck is LP? I don't know. Fucking bitch, no. Alright, let's try someone else's. PTC something. Pie? I don't know. PTC Pizza LP? What? What? LP pea soup tea leaves? Pizza pie. Tea leaves. Pea soup? Fucking bitch. Kafka. Fucking. Oh. Oh no. Kafka. Oh, that's so sad. I should have gotten that one. Sad. I love Kafka's works. CL, I appreciate you popping by, man. How's it going? I wasn't interested in watching The Lord of the Mysteries, but I'm hyped for COI. That's awesome, man. Alright, glad to have you. Yeah, Kafka actually fucked me here. What the fuck? Okay, let's do Lexicon really quickly and then we'll start. No chess game today. Oh, these lights are actually giving me a migraine. Fuck me. Okay. Totally complete. I'm one of the few who like COI more than LTM. I think we have a couple like you in the community. You are definitely a rarity for sure. Computer and compute apparently don't have a similarity. Yeah, amazing. AI is not a phrase. Computer processor. Processor and process don't go together. Are we fucking taking the pit? What is actually even this fucking game? Processor and process don't go together. Sal, how's it going, man? I have also decided, by the way, me and Goth, I confirmed with Goth that this is okay. PC is too short. It needs to be at least 3 letters. Personal computer is 2 words, so that won't work either. I confirmed with Goth that I'm going to have a dog in the Lord of the Mysteries RPG, whose name is Salavq. So get fucked, Sal. What's up, bitch? Motherboard complete package. I'm thinking like complete package together parts. I don't know, Luvian, it was, I never intended to do anything like this, but then I was sitting in VC, you know, me, Goth, Bug, Bert, just chilling, you know, having a good time. Not Bug, sorry, Devil. And we were just having a fucking good time. Sal comes in and he goes, "Hey, bum." And I go, "Yo, why am I a bum? What did I do?" And he goes, "You're just a bum." That's crazy, right? That's so mean. I didn't do anything to this guy. So mean. Hurt my feelings. Hurt my feelings. Feed the dog the secret supplement potion. Oh my god, could I have a Susie equivalent? Susie's Salavq is gonna die a horrible death. But oh my god, maybe. Oh my god, that's actually such a good idea, viewer. I didn't even think of that. Oh my god, that might be a really good idea. Hold on. Becoming a monster day 1, actually. Best potion for a dog? Is it Bug's idea? I didn't see Bug. Feed it the criminal potion. Oh, true. Bug. Goated. What's the most annoying subclass? I would like to give it that one for Sal, you know, in honor for him. It's gotta be an old dog with uncontrollable piss. Yeah, I give him the secret supplement potion. He's just pissing pure acid. He's just pissing everywhere. Walks into someone's house and just burns through the first floor of their home. We're on chapter... Are we on 15 or 6? We're on 15, I think. I think I ended on 14 yesterday. Getting information. All right, let's do this. Lawyer? I mean, both eyes blind? Well, both eyes blind, I don't know. Would that work with a secret supplement? Because couldn't they just like fix it themselves or something? Somehow water is linked to computer, but total isn't linked. Yeah, I know. This shit is so cooked. I don't think blind would work for secret supplement, right? They'd probably be able to fix their eyes or something, I assume. Okay. Chapter reader. A dog can't read, though. Dude, seriously, I can't see Money's chats at all. What the fuck? Money, how's it going, man? Sorry, Sorry, someone's gotta fucking remind me. Someone's got to remind me that like Sal's here, because like his messages just get fucking suppressed for some reason. I don't know what the reason is. Useless dog. Okay, get 15. Getting information. That owl from the Warlock legend. His mind raced with possibilities, trying to comprehend the gravity of the situation. His blood seemed to freeze. By the way, Money, thanks for coming, man. How you doing? I know, fate is actually against you. It was worse than facing the three-faced monster. After all, this was no longer a dream. This was reality. Even if his demise in a dream led to the same in reality, it was psychologically different. What should I do? Will Aurora be implicated? As Lumion racked his brain for a countermeasure, the owl remained still, observing him with a piercing gaze. After a few seconds, the owl spread its wings and flew towards the forest. Its graceful glide carried it down, until it vanished into Cordu. Only when the owl had completely vanished did Lumion's mind snap back to reality. He slumped into a chair and lifted his hand to his forehead, drenched in sweat. Is it truly the owl of the legend? Has it truly lived for so long? In any case, it was unlike any other owl with dull eyes. It almost looked human. Even if that's really the owl, why did it choose to fly just outside my window? Don't say demoness dog. That's crazy, Sal. Don't say that. That's nuts. Dude, oh my god. If I do that and you get up to sequence 7 and you survive, you're just like... It's just gonna be canonically like my dog is just like running away to have a tumble in the hay or whatever. I assume to dogs, Bug. I'm assuming to dogs. It left after a few minutes of observation. I wonder if it will return and cause trouble for Aurora. Despite wanting to observe the situation further since nothing had happened, Lumion knew that he couldn't keep it away from his sister any longer. After leaving the room, he saw that Aurora was still asleep. He went downstairs to prepare breakfast, all of which were his sister's favorite dishes. Sunny side up eggs, meringue cookies, ordinary toast with jam. I have to make noodles later. This time I'll just add sauce. Lumion mentally noted that the noodle compartment was empty and decided to refill it sometime later in the next 2 days. Cuttlefish answered? Wait, seriously? That's crazy. See, I'll do it. Seriously, if you find the answer, please do let me know. Aurora descended the staircase in a flowing nightgown, her gold locks tousled. The breakfast spread was readied. Morning, she mumbled. Lumion grinned at her. It's not getting early. Don't you always say a day's planning starts early in the morning? That's right, and my plan is to sleep, Aurora said as she settled into her seat and tucked into her breakfast. Lumion sat across from her. As he nibbled on a pancake, he casually said, I've been in the village for the past few days trying to find out the truth of those legends. Why? Aurora asked. Lumion was frank. You didn't want to help me get powers, so I found my own way. Those legends may have some clues. It's almost impossible, Aurora commented. The legends have been twisted beyond recognition over the years, or hallucinated by some loony. It's meaningless. Yeah, it is possible that someone specially made up a story as an excuse, and the contribution of rubbernecks like you. What? Lumion didn't understand what Aurora meant by rubberneck. It wasn't even in Tesian. I honestly don't know that fucking phrase either. Rubberneck. Rubberneck. Turn one's head to stare at something in a foolish manner. Oh, like the thing I do when I'm like driving past a fucking accident on the highway and I'm like... It means people who can't help but get involved in drama they have no business in, Aurora explained. And by judging how you are, judging by how you are simply raising this matter, I'm guessing you've suddenly caused some trouble and have no choice but to come home to ask your sister for help. It can be considered an accident, but not to the extent of causing trouble, Lumion said. My first target was a warlock legend. What warlock legend? Aurora's confusion was palpable. You've never heard of it? A long time ago, a person in the village suddenly died. When he was buried, an owl flew over and stopped by his bed. It only flew away when the corpse was lifted, and after that, the corpse became very heavy. It took 9 bulls to pull the coffin, and only then did the villagers know that that person was a warlock when he was alive. I wasn't aware of such a legend. It doesn't make any sense. Lumion was incredulous. Aurora may have been a homebody, but she still made time to socialize with the other old ladies in town. She loved telling stories to the children, always up to date on the latest Cordu gossip. It was hard to believe she hadn't heard of the warlock legend. But what was even more intriguing was the fact that her house was built on the very spot the warlock's home once stood. You rubberneck. Money, it's a canon event, okay? You're like standing on the highway, you're like fucking in like stop and go traffic because there's like an accident up ahead, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Come on, it's not like you've never seen an accident before, just fucking drive. And then as you come up to the come up to the accident yourself after like an hour of waiting, you go, like you've never seen a fucking accident before. It's a canon event. Everyone has to do it. I don't know. Our female lead is so I know, Aurora has like so much to offer. I have a strong feeling she's gonna die at some point. Unless they decide to go a whole other route and Lumion dies and Aurora becomes a new MC. What he almost did with Klein and Leonard, he actually does in this one. Hold on. Let me cook. Lumion had a hunch from the start that Aurora's decision to settle in Cordu was driven by the allure of the warlock's treasure and the key to unlocking its extraordinary power. And then Aurora asked, well, we did some digging and we got confirmation from the village elders. This wasn't some tale. The warlock really did exist, but it was decades ago. The church burned down the house he lived in and the land now belongs to you. Is that so? I knew it. There's always a catch, Aurora said. Why else would they sell me this land at a price lower than the norm? I thought it was the gift of my gab when it came to the old ladies. So the church burned the warlock's body? Yeah. His ashes are buried in the cemetery beside the cathedral. We've given up on this matter because all the clues lead to a dead end. But this morning I saw an owl outside my window. The one expressed in the legend. Aurora became serious. Are you certain? I can't say for sure, but it didn't look like an ordinary owl. Aurora pondered for a moment before saying, do not leave the village, and after dark, do not step outside until I've finished investigating. I've warned you about the dangers of seeking these powers, but look, trouble has found you already. Fortunately, it seems the other party doesn't have any malicious intent. The problem should be able to be solved quickly. I'm glad you're on guard. Lumion lowered his head. Big sis, I was wrong. He changed the subject. Did your pen pals write back? How can it be that fast? It's not like we're sending a post. Aurora's a transmigrator. Oh, Aurora's a transmigrator. Sorry. Oh, it's so... Oh, of course. Okay. How can it be that fast? It's not like we're sending email. Post. Aurora's a transmigrator. Clever, clever. Lumion was puzzled. Isn't post already referring to letters and packages sent through the post office? But he wasn't too concerned. After all, Aurora was always used to using strange words. Nah, I don't think so, Sal. I don't think so. It's possible that, again, it's possible that Cuttlefish is trying to throw me off into the wrong scent. That's possible, I want to be clear. But, nah. Fuck it. You guys want to gamble? Let's gamble, boys. All right, let's ask the heavens if it's right. Let's do a coin flip. Let's do a divination, shall we? Okay. The return of divinations. Oh my fucking god, cringe. Écoutez mon cœur. What the fuck do you mean I don't have enough money? How much money do I have? This is so cringe. I'm poor now again, which is also back in line with where we were way back in the day. This is good, you know? How much fucking... What is my balance, bro? I'm actually poor. This is crazy. 800k, fine. Aurora is a transmigrator. It is confirmed by the heavens. Thank you for playing, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you. My divinations are never wrong. My accuracy is fucking incredible. This is so good. This shit is... That's how every book starts us in poverty. Actually, dude. Like, I lost all my... I gave, like, all of my money to these fucking guys, and they lost it all. Holy shit. But I will make it back. I will come up again. At the entrance of Old Tavern... Wait, at the entrance of Old Tavern, Lumion stood there and surveyed the area. He knew that the woman who had given him the tarot card wouldn't be awake quite yet. You need to start doing divination. DSV, I do! You wouldn't fucking believe me? I actually do. If I'm like, if it's a really, really quiet day and I'm like talking to clients and shit, and my shit's like, I will actually do divination, because like, I'll be helping clients and they'll be like, hey, like I'm having... So basically I'm a trader at work, right? So like a client calls in and they say like, hey, either can you place a trade for, let's say Microsoft for 100 shares I want to buy, and I can help them do it, or I can also help them do it through their online portal. If they do it online, the commissions are lower. If I do it for them, the commissions are a lot higher. So like occasionally there'll be an older client and I'll be like, hey, can you place a trade for me? I'll be like, hey, yeah, that's no problem. Do you want me to try helping you do it online? Just save you some commission. And they'll be like, yeah, I can try. I've never done it, but like, I'm happy to give it a shot, save some money or whatever. I'm like, great. So like, as I'm guiding them, I'll take the fucking pendant. Where is it? Where is it? Fucking Christ, where did I put it? Fucking cringe, dude. I don't know. It's around here somewhere. Fuck. I'll take it and I'll be like, okay, he's gonna be able to do, he's gonna be able to do the fucking trade, and then like 60%, like 60 or 70% of the time it'll be accurate, like, hey, he will be able to do it or won't be able to do it. It's so fucking fun, and I love doing it. This shit's, if it's like a quiet day and I'm not like stressed out or whatever, I'm just chilling, I do that. I actually do. It's so fucking cooked. Lumion knew that the woman who had given him the tarot card wouldn't be awake quite yet, so he was looking for the three foreigners, Ryan, Leia, and Valentine. As expected, the trio was enjoying a lavish breakfast at the table. Lumion observed them for a few seconds, taking in the spread of trout rolls, wine, mayonnaise bread, before leaving without disturbing them. Sometime later, as Ryan and the others prepared to continue strolling through the town and chatting with the locals, Lumion approached. "Good morning, my cabbages." Valentine's face twitched, and between Ryan and Leia, one looked slightly embarrassed and the other a bit amused. They're dressed exactly the same. Did they not bring many changes of clothes despite being out? It's 100% accurate 50% of the time. Actually did. Lumion noticed that Leia was still clad in a snug pleated cashmere dress, a white small coat, and a pair of Marsillian boots, each adorned with a small bell. Her veil, which doubled as a hat, also had bells on it. And Valentine still had powdered hair and makeup on his face. "Good morning, Lumion. What brings you here?" Ryan asked. "Well, you guys are my friends, and I have nothing to do. I thought I'd come visit." "I noticed that you've been chatting with people in the village for a few days. Is there something in particular you want? You can always come to me if you have questions, my cabbages. I am your friend." I feel like anyone who says I am your friend is fucking not your friend. But when are you playing what the fuck is Slime Rancher? Aren't running at a high sequence beyond which why it doesn't work that. Actually, exactly true, Sal. Why are you being so nice? What the fuck is Slime Rancher? We can't trust your answer, Valentine. Yeah, I figured it was a fucking game when he said play money. I mean, what's the game about? The name does not inspire trust, I agree. Lumion shot him a glance, signaling him to calm down. Or Ryan shot him a glance, signaling him to calm down, as Lumion smiled. "So you think you can trust the others?" Leia was at a loss for words, while Ryan thought for a moment. "Actually, we can't completely trust anyone. We have to make a comprehensive judgment based on the answers we get from different people and the situations we see." Is it the kind of game that can't be shown on YouTube? Yeah? Is it a... Wait, hold on. Steam has it rated 10 out of 10? What? That's like goated stuff. Eh? It's a game about wholesome things. The fact that you say wholesome things makes me immediately question the validity of that. I don't know. That's more like it, Lumion said as he spread open his hands. "Well, then it wouldn't hurt to hear my answer. At least it's a reference." Ryan was silent before glancing around. The early morning in Cordu was bustling with people heading to the farmlands, but there was hardly anyone near the old tavern. "Here's the deal," he said. "We're here to find someone." "The Padre?" Lumion asked. "It's an H game? What the fuck is an H game?" Dude, am I fucking speaking English? What the fuck is going on here? I mean, it's on sale on the PlayStation Store for $7, so that seems like a good deal if it's a decent thing. But... Wait, seriously, DSA? What the fuck? No, I'm just not a fucking degenerate, Seal. Why the fuck would I, CL? Why the fuck would I know that? The Padre? Lumion asked. "No. We visited the Padre to find this person." "Oh? Who is that? I know everyone in this village. I should be able to help." Well, we don't know who this person is. I need you to play Outer Wilds on stream? No. Actually, we don't know who this person is, how old they are, or what they look like. We received an unsigned letter some time ago and are trying to find the person who sent it. Unsigned letter. Could that be Aurora? It's literally a chill game about someone who opens a ranch. A slime ranch? So why would you want me to play that? Lumion couldn't help but wonder if the letter was from an informer, as he feigned ignorance. Did the person who wrote the letter not reach out to you after you arrived? No, Leia said. Perhaps they don't feel safe and don't trust you. Can't you glean any clues from the contents of the letter? Lumion was curious about the letter. If it was targeting the Padre's crew, he'd be happy to help, but if it involved Aurora, he'd urge his sister to move. After all, Aurora would communicate with her pen pals frequently. And if any of them were caught, she could be implicated. The letter could be a crucial clue. But I want more content. You've got mail, yeah. I don't mind playing games. I just, I don't know. As I get older, I prefer like games with stories and such. I don't just prefer like good, gameplay is gameplay. Don't get me wrong. Like it needs to have good gameplay. That's fine. They're taking that. They are right. So like I'm not losing my shit. But like I like a game with like if I could, the fucking joy I would get playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on stream, even though I've played it fucking 50 times and I know every fucking thing that's gonna happen in the fucking game. Like, I would get so much joy out of it. I fucking love RDR2 or like Witcher 3 or that sort. Like, I love those games. Which is why, like, Thing was really good. League of Legends, yeah. League of Legends is a great storyline, which is when I get on and then I have to fucking hard carry my teammates, lose by 3 points, kill myself after on stream. Yeah, great. Lovely. 16 letter. Ryan shook his head. The letter was just two simple sentences. It seemed like a man deep in thought seeking our help. Did he not mention what kind of trouble? There was no way a letter from Aurora or her pen pals could be that short. Nothing, Ryan replied. Lumion couldn't help but mock them. It's just a letter asking for help and you're here? What if it's a prank? Even the people from the Inquisition aren't this enthusiastic. Aren't you too nice? Too kind? Too missionful? Normally, he would have voiced these thoughts aloud, but he needed to get information from them, then play God of War on stream. I've played both of the God of War, or like, I've played both of the newer God of Wars. I haven't played all the old ones, but I know the story. But like, I'd be happy to play them again. I fucking love them. Despite his reservation, Lumion knew that Ryan wouldn't reveal the entire situation to him. They must have other considerations or reasons for coming to Cordu and for searching the person. Why don't you show me the letter? Maybe I can find out who they are from the handwriting, Lumion said. Valentine, with his powdered hair, chuckled. Do you think we're idiots? Leia chuckled as well. Do you know how to appraise handwriting? Barely, Lumion admitted. He then added inwardly, being able to appraise Aurora's and my own handwriting is considered a form of appraisal, isn't it? It's useless. Every word in the letter comes from the livre bleu. And the entire sentence was comprised of cut slips. The blue book. The book that, like, that helps, like, I don't know, farmers with, like, their souls or some bullshit. Play Expedition 33. Don't like turn-based games. I tried playing it. That shit was... It seemed really cool. The story seemed great. But the gameplay was so... I fucking hate turn-based games, dude. Lumion couldn't help but wonder, but why is the writer so cautious? Why hide their identity in such a way if they were asking for help? Were they afraid of interception, or was something wrong with them that they didn't want to be exposed? Baldur's Gate 3 is way better, agreed. Lumion put on a look of realization and said, so you've been chatting with people in the village to see if anyone else has experienced a similar damage to their livre bleu? But the person who wrote the letter could have purchased a new livre bleu without anyone noticing, or even thrown it away after use. That's just one of the clues, Ryan said. Oh, are there others? Well, if someone is asking for help, then something must be happening. There will always be some clues left behind. That makes sense. I just thought, would the lever blur be the Chinese equivalent of the writ? Oh my god, DSV! Oh my god, I think you're right. Adam, how's it going, man? Another Frenchman arrives. That makes sense. Lumion said, all right, Adam, we have a second translator now. I say that, but like everything in here is so basic. I don't think we need 2 translators. By the way, how's your leg, man? I know it's been a while. I haven't seen you in a bit, but... Wait, CL, you are too? Holy shit, Kami's not here? And we've got 3 Frenchmen? Crazy work. He promised solemnly, and I read all of COI. Oh, good shit. Nice, nice. That makes sense, Lumion said, looking troubled for Ryan and the others. As if he could empathize with their situation. Would it be amazing to watch you scream? I mean, again, we can do Resident Evil. I've never played any of them, so I'd be kind of lost on the story because I know there's like fucking 80 of them at this point. But I mean, I'd be happy to give it a shot. The French gets better after like 3 volumes. Oh, 3 fucking volumes? Are you kidding me? All right, fine. That makes sense, Lumion said. He solemnly promised, my cabbages. I'll keep an eye out for you. Hopefully we find something. Thank you, Ryan said. Since we're friends, I have a question for you, Leia asked. Go ahead. One of the villagers in the tavern laughed when he called us cabbages. Although it was embarrassing, a cabbage was a local slang term and should have been a cause for laughter. Lumion explained, in slang, cabbage means love or darling, used between intimate friends or between an elder and a junior. My bunny and my chicks are similar. He emphasized the word intimate as he spoke, then with an innocent expression added, I just wanted us to be intimate friends. Better as in reduced atoms, I figured. Me show. Lumion's innocent expression suggested he had no idea what intimate meant. More like you want to be our senior. Leia finally understood why everyone was laughing. While Lumion's explanation may not have been entirely truthful, it was convincing. Ryan nodded. Anything else? Nope, Lumion replied, not wanting to appear too eager. His sister couldn't undergo an investigation, and he had to make sure he didn't arouse any suspicion about her. After watching Leia and the others leave with the sound of tinkling bells, Lumion sat at the entrance of Old Tavern and waited for the lady. After a while, Lumion's friend Raymond Gregg approached him. Lumion, have you decided which legend we will investigate next? In the past 2 days, Raymond had been more proactive than Lumion. After all, he didn't have any strange dreams or other ways of obtaining treasure. My mom called me my chick. Not yet. The owl has already come knocking on his door. He couldn't risk investigating the legend without confirming. I'll think about it after the Lent festival, Lumion explained. Okay, that makes sense, Raymond agreed. I don't have to be Green Watcher for the time being. I'll head out after Lent. Even if there are grazers in the meantime, it won't cause much damage. Do you mean you won't have to leave the village for the next few days? Lumion asked. Raymond nodded. What a coincidence. I can't leave either for the next couple of days. Why not? This morning, I met the owl from the legend. It said that if it wasn't for the cathedral and the gaze of the god in the village, it may have taken my soul and thrown it into the abyss. Raymond was shocked. Is that for real? I told you not to provoke it. Raymond suddenly saw a smile appear on Lumion's face. Only then did he realize his friend's nature. It's a lie, isn't it? He was angry at himself for falling for Lumion's traps yet again. He knew what kind of person Lumion was and had been fooled by him again. Hold on, I just gotta...
Close your eyes. Come to me.
Sorry. Raymond is such a good character. So far, so good, yeah. You believe such a ridiculous thing? Lumion chuckled. Quietly, Lumion added to himself that he had made up the story to prevent Raymond from going straight to the cathedral to repent when he couldn't withstand the pressure. Phew, Raymond relaxed. Although I made up that story, it's true that pursuing the truth of a legend can be dangerous. Try not to leave the village or the cathedral's protection if you can. It's more common for words to have genders than not to. Yeah, I know. Most languages have, I know Spanish is obviously the same. I think Portuguese is also the same. A lot of languages have like gendered objects and such. Silently, Lumion added, and that's the truth. Although most of the story was fabricated, half of it was true. Lumion offered some advice to his friend. Although I made up that story, it is true that pursuing the truth of a legend can be dangerous. Try not to leave the village or the cathedral's protection if you can. Most of the story was fabricated, half of it was true. I wouldn't have reminded you and shared Aurora's advice in a different way if I didn't need your help with things in the future. Whether someone lives or dies has nothing to do with me. Eat lithium? Why the fuck would you do that? I mean, I think you can... lithium is a light metal, so I think your body should be able to, get rid of it quickly. It's not like a heavy metal that I'd have difficulties with, but why the fuck would you bother in the first place? He changed the subject and asked, who were you going to vote for in the Spring Elf? The Spring Elf was the symbol of spring and the start of many celebrations during Lent. In the Darriège region, the whole village usually voted for an unwed, beautiful girl to play the role. Ava, Lumion said. Hasn't she always wanted to be the Spring Elf? Doesn't lithium react hard to water? Fuck, you might be right. Can you... No, hold on. What happens if you eat lithium? Okay, lithium toxicity, but like, what about like a little bit? Well, there's lithium tablets, so it can't be that bad. Lithium tablets? What the fuck is it? Oh, right, lithium is a mood stabilizer. Of course it is. Oh, I know this. Come on, I know this. Yeah, lithium is a mood stabilizer, so you should be able to take it and be okay. If you obviously take too much and get lithium poisoning, that's a whole separate thing. Zainab, see? I got you, brother. I got you. I won't. Just don't eat too much. You'll be fine. I'll choose her too, Raymond replied. Yesterday, Ava had hinted to him that she wanted him to vote for her, so he felt to help her canvass for votes. Outside a house not far from the old tavern, Ryan, Leia, and Valentine weren't in a hurry to find someone to chat with. Valentine raised his hand to cover his mouth and nose. Is it really okay to say so much to that guy just now? I don't know. If there's a problem, all I can confirm is that my divination results tell me he can be of help. Leia can do divinations, so she's from like she might be like a mystery prior or something. Ryan explained his hesitation. If we can't turn the situation around, leaking some information and instilling fear in the relevant people could also be effective. Next, we'll observe him more closely and see what he will or won't do. And find. After Raymond, Lumion entered Old Tavern and saw the lady who had given him the tarot card, wearing a white blouse and a pair of baggy light-colored pants. And beside her hand was a round straw hat. She really had a lot of clothes in her suitcase, changing them every day, unlike Ryan and others who look so shabby. Well, yeah, but she also has a fucking pocket dimension because she's a fucking traveler. I mean, the Divination Club? No. Oh, Divination Club, true. During this process, he casually glanced at her breakfast, which consisted of a plump mint, but like money in the In the divination club, most of the people were fucking hacks, except like Klein and the one other guy who's also a beyonder. So I feel like average people as diviners would kind of be fucking cooked. Arter, how's it going, man? Adam, listen, I appreciate y'all talking this shit, but like I'm gonna need you to keep the French to a fucking minimum, okay? I'm just kidding. No worries, Luvian. I appreciate you popping by, buddy. During this process, he casually glanced at our breakfast, which consisted of a plump mince pie and a thin sauce. Yeah, you remember what happened after your revolution, Adam? Do you remember? Do you remember us? I don't know if you read about him in school or if you remember or something. I believe the name was Charles Henri Sanson. Does that name ring any fucking bells for you, Adam? Eh? Ciao, Luvian. During this process, he casually... no. This isn't something the old tavern can provide. Lumen pointed at the drink on the table and asked the lady, "What is this? It doesn't look like wine. It doesn't look like wine. It's called Venus Sacred Oil. It's made from sugar, cinnamon, water, soaked in vanilla and mixed with poppies. It was invented by a bar in Trier. We do not learn from our mistakes in Marseille. Joke's on you. Fuck you." The word Venus came from Roselle. He mentioned it in a story that she was a woman comparable to the goddess of beauty. Remember the Marseillan boots of Adam lives there? Oh, shit! Cool! Lumion was intrigued. Where did you get it? Did you make it yourself? He asked, suspecting that the nearest city, Darriege, couldn't provide something like this. As a traveler, it is my professional instinct to obtain the right things at the right moment. I don't understand. I finished the previous monster. This time, I encountered 2 more dangerous ones. He went on to describe the monster with 3 faces and the one with the shotgun. I feel they all have powers surpassing that of ordinary humans, not something I can deal with. Is there any way to deal with them? I'm not sure about the 3-faced monster, but you're more than capable of dealing with the one with the shotgun, as long as you use what is special about you. What's special? What's special about me? I don't even know myself. The lady smiled. That is your dream. As the owner of the dream, you naturally enjoy some special treatments. You just haven't used them yet. Devil! Yo! Yes, you can take the shotgun, okay? Listen, everyone who tells you can't just jump off a roof, flap your arms really hard and fly, they just don't want you to, okay? They fly all the time when you're sleeping, okay? They just don't want you to be in the club. You can do it. If you're a bigger person, you might need to attach a few helium balloons, but like the same principle altogether. It'll be fine. Big gravity. Big gravity is crazy. Lumion was on edge, his mind racing with excitement and fear. What is it exactly? You have to ask yourself that. Having said that, she lowered her head slightly and focused on her breakfast, giving the impression she had no intention of continuing this conversation. Why do you keep parts of the matter untold and only answer at the next opportunity? It's a waste of everyone's goddamn time. He couldn't help but feel inferior to her ability to infuriate everybody. Taking a deep breath, he forced a smile and bade her farewell, and spent the rest of the day at home. He wasn't out of it. Dude, what is this fucking music? Hey, I'm cooking. Dude, why have I never heard this? This is also Lies of P. What are we on? This shit is goated behavior. What? We need to socialize true. Dude, this music is actually so good, I'm actually having trouble reading. What the fuck? This wasn't out of fear of the owl to the point of not daring to step out, nor was it because he had nothing to do. but to avoid arousing suspicion. Lumion was determined to get to the bottom of the help-seeking letter that Leia and her companions had in their possession. He needed to find out what was written and who wrote it. The key to this investigation was to flip through every line of the livre bleu in the village and find the ones with the words cut out. As a villager, Lumion was best suited to this task, but he was hesitant after talking to the three foreigners. It's a football club? I was wondering, okay, because I was like, Ale obviously means go, and then I was like, what's Lom? I was like, I don't know. Okay, that makes sense. Good night, Adam. What if he becomes a lawyer? Holy fuck, there's two. Dude, if Kami was here, there'd be so much French in chat. That's crazy. Olympique Marseille. Oh, I see. Okay. This was a matter of life and death, survival or doom, and Lumion knew that even with Aurora's protection, he couldn't guarantee that the other party wouldn't take any risky actions. In the past 2 years, he had become better at figuring out the threshold required for pranks. This was due to his rich experience. He planned on visiting every family in a few days, using an excuse of pursing the legend related to Lent. After dinner, when it was dark, Aurora returned to her bedroom to write a manuscript that was long overdue. Lumion entered the study, planning to find some books related to dreams to read, hoping to gain some insight. As they only had one battery-powered lamp, which was being used by Aurora, he had to light up the kerosene lamp that had a pungent smell. Carrying the kerosene lamp that emitted a dim glow, Lumion quickly swiped his hand across the back of the book. Occasionally, he would choose a book and clamp it under his armpit. Speak the king's English, true. Hey, listen, there's a fucking reason the whole world speaks English and not French, okay? Get fucking rolled. You guys had one good general, and even he lost at the Battle of Waterloo. Get fucking rolled. It was quietly placed in a corner of the deck as usual, as the grey-blue cover seemed a bit dusty. Upon seeing this livre bleu, Lumion immediately thought of the book he had obtained in the dream ruins and the book that had been cut out and meshed. He reached out and picked up the livre bleu in front, planning to flip through the contents to see which words were suitable to cutting and piecing. After flipping through, his gaze froze. There was an obvious hole in the notes. Attached to the current calendar, a word had been cut out. Lumion flipped through the livre bleu in his hand and found more than 10 words cut out. No fucking way, Lumion whispered. The blue book that Ryan, Leia, and Valentine and the others were searching for was the one at home. Fucking called it. Not only had they not expected it, but Lumion never even fathomed the ability. And the current English royal families are descendants of Wilhelm the Conqueror, or Norman. And that's true. I think the I think it's the Swedish royal family that is also French, because I think Napoleon sent one of his generals over to Sweden after he had gained the territory, and they became the ruling monarch, and then they switched up on Napoleon as he was losing, allowing them to retain power, and I think they're still in power to this day. I think it's Sweden. It might be one of the other Scandinavian countries, but I'm pretty sure it's Sweden. Swedish. Thank you. Cool little history fact for those that didn't know. I'm assuming the Frenchmen's probably knew, but not only, it didn't even cross his mind. Amidst the indescribable complicated emotions, Lumion frowned. Could it be Aurora who asked for help? Why did she ask for help? Why didn't she tell me? Based on Leia and the others' behavior, their habitual choices to discuss matters with the Padre as soon as they arrived and the other details, Lumion made a judgment that they were officials. They could be from the government, from the Church of EBS, or the God of Steam and Machinery. Lumion hesitated. Finally, he made up his mind. He took the book and walked out of the study to Aurora's room. He planned on asking, as he chose to believe in his sister. Lumion bent his fingers and knocked on the door. "Come in," Aurora said. Lumion turned the handle and pushed open the door. Under the bright light of the table lamp, Aurora, who was wearing a two-piece cotton pajama set, had her golden hair bound with a headband. "Did you cut this?" Lumion asked. "Huh?" Aurora turned around in confusion, her eyes blank. Lumion handed over the book. "You didn't cut this?" "Would I be so bored and childish? I'm steady, mature, and broad-minded, unlike you." "But who would have cut out the books from the book?" "Wasn't it you?" Aurora sized up her brother. "After reading my novel, you planned on mimicking what you read and cut out the words from the books and newspapers to create a random letter to play a huge prank. But before that, you wanted to see if you could fool me. Are you testing me?" It wasn't me," Lumion frowned. "Who could have done it?" Aurora smiled. "Go on, play your little game of deduction. I have a manuscript to finish. If I work tomorrow, I'll help you figure it out." Someone else did it. Who would have access to it? It seems like no one else comes home. I'm going to assume that Aurora would have likely noticed if like a spirit came in or something. Justin Bieber? True. Fuck that guy. He took the blue book and returned to his room. Who could it be? He muttered under the illumination of the crimson moon. "We're a family of true. Aurora's a warlock. She won't let others ransack the home. If it's not her," and in her words, "when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth." She is a fucking... oh my fucking god. She's a transmigrator. That's why she's a loner, because she kind of like Klein doesn't really want to associate with much of this world, because she's like... because she feels so much like an outsider. So in this moment, having only two options, am I the one who did it? For a moment, Lumion found it absurd and funny. So I'm the criminal? Why don't I know? Lumion couldn't help but turn his body and look at the mirror attached to the wardrobe. Under the crimson moonlight, his mirror reflection was wearing a linen shirt and brown pants. His handsome features didn't have a smile on them, and his expression was abnormally heavy. Lumion doesn't have his memories. No, Money. Lumion has his memories. He talks about, like, being a kid on the streets and, like, having to fight for, like, scraps and shit. The value of money. He's from here. I don't think Lumion is one. Because, like, in the dream yesterday, if you remember, Lumion was talking about that... like, he was like, oh, like, I'm keeping the money because even though I can't bring it with me, just having it is, like, nice because I know what it's like to have no money. I know the value of it. I know fighting over it. Living on the streets taught me, like, streets taught me. But he didn't remember. Oh, true. He did not remember his... Well, DSV... what he said, I don't know if he said... I might be getting this wrong. I believe he said I didn't have a name before Aurora gave me one. I don't know if he said I don't remember the name I had before. I might be wrong. Obviously, you guys have read the book. But I believe he said I don't recall... I didn't have a name. Which is like, if he's an orphan who grew up on the street, never really had anyone ever... there was no one to give him a name. They might, like, call him, like, shit, like, whatever, but, like, he didn't have a name. Viewer, how's it going, man? I thought, why don't you go to bed? Lab, is that Dr. Z? Is that yet another account? Is that someone else? The naming convention doesn't seem like Dr. Z, but it might be. Oh no, it's Dr. Z. Never mind. He was very sure that he had never cut out the content of the blue book. To eliminate the possibility, he recalled his experience in the last month. Just the ID instead of, oh, I see, of course. When in doubt, it's Dr. Z. Although many details were a blur, he was still very certain about what he had done. Bathing in the crimson moonlight that seeped in through the windows, Lumion muttered to himself, "Could it be that I did it when I was unconscious? While having a dream, can I sleepwalk in reality? Why does this Z person get banned so much? She doesn't. She probably should, but she doesn't. Well, not anymore. Actually, no, I don't want to shit on her too much. She's actually been exceptionally good quite recently. But like way back in the day, it was quite rough. Bathing in the crimson moonlight that seeped through the windows, Lumion muttered, "Could it be that I did it when I was unconscious? While having that dream, can I sleepwalk? No, that's impossible. Aurora said she'd watch over me. If I sleepwalked and cut the blue book, she would have pointed it out. Moreover, the letter must have been sent during the day, and I'm very awake during that time." Hold on. I just said you've been exceptionally good recently. We didn't listen to that part? What? Lumion eliminated himself and thought of other possibilities. Who else came here? Although their family had a few guests, didn't mean had few guests usually, didn't mean they did have none. Firstly, poorer neighbors would come to borrow the stove or oven to smoke meat or make bread. Secondly, Lumion's friends would come to his house occasionally to find simple novels or listen to his stories. Lastly, nasally, Madame Polly and a few other ladies visited Aurora from time to have a chat. Among them, Madame Polly came in the most often. She even lent Aurora a pony so that Aurora could ride freely in the mountains. They were quite close. After all, in a small village like this, only an author like Aurora was worthy of Madame Polly's friendship. Madame Polly appeared very amiable on the surface, often basking in the sun with other women and chatting. She had quite a good reputation. Although Madame Polly and Aurora could be considered friends, Lumion didn't like her. Madame would often introduce one of her relatives to Aurora and persuade her to get married and have children as soon as possible. I was talking to, of course. Hey, listen, it's like if you never if you don't positively reinforce good behavior, you can't be mad when it doesn't happen again. It would be fine if Madame Polly's relatives were nice, but every time Lumion asked her on Dariège, he found that the other party either had bad characters or was not very capable. They were about to fall into poverty, and none of them made the cut. The first time might have been a coincidence, but it kept happening every time. Lumion bore a hatred for Madame Polly. It's definitely impossible for those who came here to smoke meat or bake. Oh, actually, sorry, second question. How are you feeling, Dr. Z? I know you were feeling a bit off, but how are you feeling now? What if Lumion is a schizo and all of this is just a psychic brain with no magic or anything? Oh, psychotic break. I see. That would be base too. I would love that. It'd be a very very Shutter Island-esque. Good today? That's good to hear. It's definitely impossible for those who come here to smoke meat or bake bread. There's always someone watching them, and they're not allowed on the second floor. Raymond, Ava, and the others are also unlikely suspects. I'll accompany them the entire time. Madame Polly, Naziel, and the other ladies have a chance. Every time they come, Aurora will keep them in the study to read while she prepares some snacks. If Madame Polly is really a witch, then it's understandable she needs to hide her identity. She's also very careful to use other people's blue books to avoid it being tracked. Did she discover something when she was having an affair with the Padre? Did she just have to protect herself? I think all of this is just a part of Klein's new dream. Money, I swear to God, I was thinking of that. Like right now, I was literally thinking of that. I was like, I was like, there's a chance, but then like in my mind, the thing that broke it for me was like, fours wouldn't be here. It doesn't really make much sense. But like, I swear, I was thinking of that same thing. The more he thought about it, the more excited he became. He felt that he was locking onto a suspect. He stood up, paced a few steps, and suddenly walked down. He didn't want to question Madame Polly, nor did he plan to pry into her actions. Instead, he planned to find Raymond or Guillaume Jr. and use their blue books as a comparison to determine which words had been cut out and what sentences could be formed. This way, Lumion could recreate the exact contents of the request for help. He rushed down through the kitchen and went through the front door, the crimson darkness rushing in, calming him down. Big Sis said that before we figure out the owl situation, I shouldn't go out after dark, Lumion muttered, stepping back and closing the door. Anyway, there was no hurry to borrow the blue book. It'd be more natural to do it tomorrow anyway. After doing the stretch, Lumion walked towards the staircase as the doorbell rang. Who is it? Lumion turned around as he called out. A slightly magnetic, gentle female voice sounded. It's me, Polly de Roquefort. I don't know why I said Roquefort. I don't know what that was. I don't. Don't ask. Okay, fuck you. 18. Straight forward. Reading comprehension, devil is touch. Okay, no one's touching me. Don't. Makes sense. Jesus. Okay. Yes, I'm very. I'm autistic. Okay, I'm very. I don't like being touched unless I'm like aware of it previously. Madame Polly. Lumion was shocked to see her standing outside his door. He had the illusion that someone had come to his place to silence him, but knowing that his sister was upstairs, he calmed down. The lion does not get touched. Exhaling slowly, Lumion walked over and opened the door. There were two women standing outside. The one in front was wearing a pure black and exquisite corset dress and had a shawl of the same color, fishnet gloves on her hands, and a lady's round hat that was slightly slanted. She was dressed in black with only a diamond necklace inlaid with gold hanging on her chest. Her thin eyebrows were eyebrows were thin, framing her bright, shining smile. The one in front was wearing a pure her long brown hair was tied into a high bun, and her facial features were not outstanding. But when combined, they had a clean, charming beauty, coupled with her elegant temperament and graceful posture. Alright, good night, CL. Thanks for popping by, man. Appreciate you. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. There, when did you pop in? What the fuck? Have you been here for a while? Did I just not notice you? Coupled with her elegant temperament and graceful posture, it made the night at Lumion's door, that was dyed a little red, seem much fresher because of her. There was also a faint fragrance. Madame Polly and the wife of the Cordoue village administrator and the terrestrial judge Boest. Lumion knew that he had to add words like the mistress of the Padre, suspected witch, help-seeking suspect, and the fair naked body in the cathedral in his heart. However, these were not suitable to be said out loud. There has been here for a while? Ah, fuck. Sorry, dude. I'm here to speak with your sister, Madame Polly. What's the matter? Lumion asked. I'm here to discuss something with your sister. From her appearance alone, she didn't look like a woman in her 30s with 2 kids. She was at most in her late 20s. Dude, she might actually be a demoness. What the fuck? Aurora's upstairs writing for the newspaper column. Kathy, wait for me downstairs, Polly nodded. Yes, madame. Dressed in a black and white lady maid's outfit, Kathy took a few steps forward. Wiz, you have written wrong spelling, have I? My eyes are getting... I'm getting a little sleepy, okay? I think STR. Bro, am I fucking crazy? The spelling's fine. What are you talking about? I might be getting old. I don't know. Or join as a member. I just came back. Is it the part where... Was everyone right about you, Wiz? Oh, what? I'm old. Fuck. But Lumion led Madame Polly through the kitchen up the stairs. Madame Polly stopped at the corner. What's wrong? Lumion turned around and asked. Did you deliberately bring the 3 foreigners to the cathedral? Madame asked. She's here to question me. Lumion's experience of pranking and infuriating people had taught him that at such times he couldn't directly answer the question, nor could he defend himself. The best choice was to blame the other party for making an error. Dude, I will say, I think she is so fucking precious. This little she's sleeping with the fucking church reverend or priest or whatever, and she dares to question this guy like, oh, did you do this on purpose? Like, bro, what? What? Of course, this depended on the situation. Turning around and running was also an alternative. He gazed at her. You guys were actually having an affair in the God's Cathedral. He then spread open his arms and seemingly gestured as though he was embracing the sun. My God, my father, forgive the sacrilege of this guilty man and woman. Madame Polly watched him quietly, the ends of her beautiful lips curling. I think God will forgive us. I read a book once that said a lady who shares a bed with her true love is cleansed of all sins. For love legitimizes pleasure. Pleasure? Demoness of pleasure? Hold on. Demoness of pleasure might work. Wait. What is that? Sequence 5, I think? Fuck, let me open up my notes. I know so much more now. I know so much more. But then this doesn't make any sense. How could there be another transmigrator? There were 3, and then all the others didn't Klein like get rid of... Wait, what? Wait. Sorry. Did Klein bring them all... Did Klein bring all of them down? Or what did he do with them? Because he did something with the cocoons. I can't remember. Bro, yeah, I forgot. Fuck you. It should have been me. So they were all released, right? I don't know how long the time skip has been between End of Lord of the Mysteries and now. He freed them all, which means I don't know how long the time delay is, but it would make sense. Yes, thank you, DSV. So it makes sense that that Aurora is one of them, depending on what the time delay looks like. They should have went to the recently dead just like all the rest did before them. Okay. I'm very happy with Guillaume Benet. Therefore, the EBS wouldn't be angry about this. It is not a sin. What kind of books are you reading, madame? Lumen couldn't help but criticize. But this is indeed disrespectful to Saint Sith. Saint Sith? The Sith Lord? Darth Vader? Every region of Intes had one or two guardian angels or saints recognized by the Church of EBS or the Church of God of Steam and Machinery, or they had made special contribution to the history of Intes. They were well known and respected by both churches. In the Darriege region, the saint of the EBS was Saint Sith. Every EBS cathedral here could be actually called Saint Sith Cathedral. Why don't you just call it Darth Vader Cathedral? What is even the fucking point at this? Oh god. However, to differentiate, only the largest and core cathedral was called that. Others had their own names. And therefore, Madame Polly and the Padre having an affair in the cathedral was equivalent to Saint Sith's butler secretly bringing someone home and doing the deed in the master's bedroom. That's crazy. Great disrespect to the patron saint. That's right, Lumia nodded. Isn't the Padre ashamed? Madame started laughing. Back then, I persuaded him. Ooh, how we do things in the Cathedral of Saint Sith. Guess what the Padre said? He said, oh, then Saint Sith might have to put up with a little. Lumion, who was inexperienced in such things, was at a loss for words. He's blaspheming a saint, he finally said. That is how he is. He is bold and direct, like a bandit who breaks through the door to your soul while cursing. He's completely different from the gentleman in Darriege. Perhaps that's why I slept with him. What the fuck am I reading, bro? That's just the normal behavior of some men in heat, and not to mention Saint Sith. Even if a deity was there, he would make him wait. Despite his lack of experience, Lumion had read enough novels written by Aurora to know a thing or two about human desire. What the fuck is Aurora writing? She's giving this to her younger brother? I need to have a fucking chat. I need to call CPS, bro. What the fuck? This belongs to having his mind controlled by his lower body. No, his head was already empty during that time. Madame Polly smiled. No, viewer, shut the fuck up. Don't fucking... She's a demoness of pleasure, I'm telling you. I know that's the reason, but he did appear very charming. You're indeed a very inexperienced young man. Don't you know that the same words will make people feel differently in different circumstances? I understand the first time I slept with the Padre. He stood there, looked me in the eyes and said, Polly, I'm not reading that, bro. You guys are fucking nuts. I'm not reading that. Are you nuts? No fucking shot. That's crazy. I don't know. Fucking look it up, bro. I'm not reading this. No. No, I'm not reading this, money. No. I am not reading that. No, I have to have some limits. I can't. No, it is not important to the story, Bug. She's a disgusting person. How much? It's like a small chapter. It's like 2 sentences. I'm not guys, I'm not reading that. That's disgusting to a fucking underage person. Don't say we have senior standards, Bug. What the fuck? It is not very relevant, Plague. You're killing me. Yeah, I'm not reading that. Viewer, it'll be the cost of 1 chapter, okay? If you want to know, it'll be the cost of 1 chapter. Unhinged, your mom has seen a lot of my balls, okay? You can ask her about them. How's that, you bitch? It'll be the cost of 1 chapter there, viewer. If you want to know, it'll be the cost of 1 chapter. We started on chapter 15, Dr. Z. The cost of 1 chapter was $200. That was the deal. I don't want to read that, bro. You're out of your fucking mind. I'm not that's disgusting. No, I don't care. I like the stream timing. I know, Dr. Z, I know. Madame Polly smiled. It's like if I had my eye on any man, I'd say to him, how does my place sound tonight? If he really comes, I'll bring him straight to the bedroom and tell him I love you. Money, I'm not reading that. No. Then keep reading. Don't worry, it only gets worse. I'm not Money. I can't. I appreciate you. I do. But I can't read that, bro. I will fucking send it to you on... no, you're fucking... Are you underage? You might... No, you're not underage. Okay, I can send it to you on Discord. I'm not reading that. Yeah, I would pronounce it Polly. Then you can... Oh my god. This is so disgusting. Oh my fucking god. Alright, if there's any kids in chat, get it the fuck out of here. Just... Oh my god, I hate you guys. Fine. I fucking... Oh my god. Okay. I remember the first time I slept with the Padre. He stood there, looked me in the eyes and said, Polly. No, Bullseye, no, you can't do this to me! Bullseye, stop! What are we doing? No, stop! Polly, I want... I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Luvion, leave! Okay. What does my life come to, dude? I went to uni. What am I doing with my life? Sal, no. Fuck. I can't. I have to now. Fuck. Oh my. What do you mean read it in their voice? Who do you think I am? Money. Stop. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you, Money. Okay. What do you mean read it in their voice? You want me to read it in the Padre's voice? I don't... What character? No, stop. Okay. I remember the first time I slept with the Padre. He stood there, looked me in the eyes and said, Polly, I want to go deeper and understand your body and mind. If it were any other time, I would have found him crude and a vulgar pervert. I would have called for help to stop him. But at that time, my body went limp. The mood was just right. It's like if I had my eyes on any man, I'd say to him, how does my place sound tonight? If he really comes, I'd bring him straight to my bedroom and tell him, I want to make love to you. I love you. Lumion, as a man, how would you answer at a time like this? Out here doing the greatest stunt for Super Yeah, Delulu, you have no idea. This is so cringe. This is so cringe. No, Ardor, that was so bad. What are you on? Lumion usually told dirty jokes to men in the village. Although he was a little uncomfortable, he managed to keep his composure. He tried his best to recall the stories his sister had written and the stories written by... Sal, 2 months, man. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. 2 months. Fuck you, Bug. You're so... Dude, I fucking hate you so much. You're gonna... No, Money, I don't want to get used to this. Luvion, please. Just once. Take my word. Please, don't do this. Although he was a little uncomfortable, he managed to keep his composure. He tried his best to recall the stories his sister had written and the novels by other contemporary authors. After some deliberation, he said, Madame, you are my sunshine. Very talented, the Madame complimented. As she spoke, she leaned forward. I want to make love to you. That moment, Lumien's heart couldn't help but tremble. His body felt numb, as though he'd received an electrical shock. He took a step back and said, Aurora should be waiting for you. Indeed, the madame straightened her back with a smile, as if nothing had happened at all. Snow Bunny mind control, don't say that. Oh, don't unhint. Don't make it weird. It was as if nothing had happened. This woman, Lumien, was suddenly a little afraid of women. Me too, Lumien. My goat. Me too. He turned around and reached the second floor in a few steps. Then, with Madame Polly following at a steady pace, Aurora was waiting outside the bedroom when she heard the doorbell. What took so long? She looked at Lumien. We talked about the cathedral, Lumien explained. Aurora understood. She gave her brother a look that said, "Pray for good luck from the EBS." How does one even resist if they're a normal human against a sequence 6? I think you have to... No, Sal. Viewer, what are you doing to him? Viewer, what are you doing to him? No, I feel like you can. I feel like you've got to be... I feel like if you're asexual, you can probably resist it. Dude, is that... Oh my god, someone should really ask Cuttlefish. Like, what happens if a demoness goes up to, like, an asexual person? What happens? I'm very susceptible to peer pressure. Your statistic member is behind you. No asexuals are affected? I don't think so. They don't have that desire at all. How do you create that? No, demoness goes through asexual is a crazy sentence. Thank you, viewer. I appreciate you, buddy. Cuttlefish confirmed. I don't know if that's true. Who's Kid How? She turned to Polly, and who had just arrived on the second floor, and smiled. What's the matter? I want to talk about the preparation for Lent. I might need your help with the celebration. Polly smiled. You caught me at... There's no... What do you mean it's been confirmed? Who the fuck asked this question? There's no... I think it's allegedly talked about a demoness charm transcends gender. That's crazy. So a demoness could make like a female also fall for her? Give more detail. We will not. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. I want to talk about the preparation for Lent. I may need your help with the celebration, Madame Polly smiled. You caught me at a bad moment. Aurora found an excuse. Madame Polly pointed to the door and said, "How about you hear it first?" All right, Aurora said. Watching is if some Sal, can I ask for a favor? If you planned on donate, if you plan to. Again, no pressure, as always. I want to be really clear. There's no pressure or expectation from my side for anyone to donate ever. If you plan to, can I ask that you guys do it through Buy Me a Coffee? Is that possible? I just a favor, I ask. Watching his sister, the streamer, Bug is actually just trying to see how far he can push me today. It's crazy. Suddenly, an idea... watching his sister and Madame Polly enter the study and close the door, Lumien nodded, acting normally without showing any trace of turning back to the crime scene. Suddenly, an idea struck him like a bolt of lightning. There's a high chance that Madame Polly is a warlock. Can I get supernatural powers from her? Yes, kill her! But then you become a demoness. That's kind of cooked. It would be more Viewer. Thank you, dude, so much. Appreciate you. It would be so much more convenient and safer than facing that owl head on while searching for the truth of the warlock or exploring the dangerous dream realms. I think DSV timed you out, Plague. You'll have to ask him. After all, I have to unlock the secrets as soon as possible to eliminate any hidden dangers. It's less risky once I obtain powers. With Lumion, once I became vigilant and shook his head. He then self-reflected. I don't even know if Madame Polly is a friend or a foe. How would I get powers from her? Yes, her actions didn't paint her to be a good person just now. She even made me feel a sense of danger. What's wrong with me? Am I too hasty and rash in pursuing my powers? It's as if I'll die if I don't get them quickly. What the fuck does he mean? It's as if I'll die if I don't get them quickly. It's been nearly 2 years since Lumion discovered his sister was a warlock. Although he had tried to gain powers before, he had never worked as hard as he had in the past few days. No matter if the opportunity was good or bad, or if there was danger or hope, he could not wait to come into contact. Like how one wouldn't be picky with food if they were starving. You gonna stream the Ender Dragon fight? Oh, that would be actually kind of cool. There'd be a lot of us from this. There'd be a lot of us from the thing anyway. Server anyway, if you guys would want, or in the community anyway, if you guys would want me to. Thank goodness, I sensed the problem in time, otherwise I might ended up taking a more deviated and dangerous path. Lumion let out a long sigh. But he knew it was impossible to stop pursuing supernatural powers. He just needed choices. After all, the dangerous dream had already revealed itself, and the undercurrents in the village were getting more and more turbulent. No, DSV, I swear to God, I don't... Does someone who fucking knows how to, like, run a fucking server or something, can someone please let me know? Someone who can... Can someone let me know? I will just give you the fucking... unhinged. I know you don't. Shut the fuck up. I'll give you the powers, like, install whatever plugins. Like, apparently it's a simple fix, but I can't fucking figure it out. I've watched the videos. I've tried to do it. It doesn't let me do it. Someone please help me, okay? If someone knows how to do it, please just fucking take it off my hands. No, a DSV. Apparently there's a way to make, what do you call it? To make the server be able to have like a lower and higher like update. So like if someone has an older update, they should be able to get in, and if someone has a higher update, they should also be able to get in. There's a way to do that. Like, it's not up to you guys. I gotta figure it out how the fuck to do that. I've tried and I don't know. I don't run servers, okay? That's not the side of the tech. That's not the side of the tech tree that I have my stats points in. Mediation. I thought it said medication. Unhinged. You can barely play Minecraft. Okay, shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna take sass from you right now about this. Madame Polly and Aurora didn't talk for long. 10 minutes later, they walked out. Lumion walked Madame Polly out of the door. He looked at his sister and asked, what did she want? She wanted me to be the lead singer at the praise celebration, but I refused. Cordu Village's Lent festivals had 3 segments: Spring Elf Blessing Tour, Waterside Ritual, Praise Celebration held in the cathedral. My fucking earlier comment, you bum. I might be able to do it. I might be able. I did it once, but it was by accident. What is that? Not my fault. I touch grass. You don't. Okay, you touch grass when when your country's paying you to. Shut the fuck up. Don't sass me. The compatibility? I can't inline dono. Don't have my laptop, so I'll do a coffee dono. Oh, based. When you say inline, I assume that means like the memberships, but so you'll do the coffee dono. Is that right? says the banker. Yes, but the my fucking country doesn't pay me. A very for Discord. Oh, you sent me a message on Discord? So yeah, the people do. Am I autistic? What is Sal asking me? Is anyone understanding? Am I fucking autistic? By the way, viewer, thank you for the membership, dude. Seriously. The problem you're having on Discord, I might be able to help you. Oh, Sal, we're not. Oh, when I say sorry, when I say server, I don't mean Discord server. I mean our Minecraft server. Sorry. For the Discord, for the Minecraft server, we're having an issue where the server updated to the most latest Minecraft update, but a lot of people have like cracked Minecraft servers, Minecraft copies where they can't update to the newest one. So I'm trying to find a way to have the server be able to allow people with older versions of Minecraft on. I can't figure out how to do that. If you can help me with that, I'll definitely give you the access and stuff. If you have any idea how to do that, I don't know. Maybe I'll like ask Romero or a Devil if they can figure it out also. Where am I? I'll hit up my mate. He'll be able to help. Oh, thanks, buddy. In the Dariaj region, the lead singer was often from the cathedral choir, but Cordu could only seek out singers who were good at singing as alternatives. As for the instruments, the villagers didn't worry about it. In villages with shepherds, music or musical instruments were indispensable. Shepherds lived all year in the wild, either in shacks or pits. Other than their companions and sheep, the most common thing they interacted with was the flute they carried. Is this true? Alright, bye Sal, appreciate you popping by, buddy. I got blue balled the fuck out of me today. By the way, did you, that's fine. It was precisely because of this. Folk music is such a bop, really? It was precisely because of this, because of that phrase, used to describe a shepherd in a difficult and impoverished situation. He doesn't even have a flute. With so many shepherds around, it was inevitable that the other villages of Cordu would be affected. No, Bullseye, don't do that. Okay, do you guys want that I leave it on 19 today? Do you want me to do a shorter stream since Easy and Dara are also live? Or do you guys want me to keep going? You guys tell me. With so many shepherds around, it was inevitable that the other villages of Cordu would be affected. While they gathered and chatted in the square, there would always be someone playing an instrument, causing the melodious melody to reverberate. Joining in the celebrations was enough. If one wanted to take center stage, it would be a waste of time and could attract unnecessary attention. Okay. Alright. Money, Bug, and Chris. Alright, got it, guys. Especially Money, no problem. Easy is reading Shadow Slave, which I don't give a fuck about, so I like the stream keep going. Alright, dope. As long as my Frenchman is here to translate, we're good. I think the other two Frenchmen have dipped, and the second Frenchman is sleeping today, so you're the only one. The clock continues spinning when I'm not dreaming. Oh, wait, hold on. Where the fuck am I? Lumion was pleased to see his sister being steadfast. Okay, he said. Joining in the celebrations was enough. If one wanted to take center stage, it would be a waste of time and could attract attention. In order to protect his eyesight, Lumion read for a while. He then decided to wash up and turn in early. He considered how to safely test what was special about them in their dream. The SS slander is crazy. The other 3 Frenchmen are asleep. It's 4 a.m.? First of all, the queen is fucking dead, okay? So I worship the king. Get fucking rolled, Unhinged. The lady's suggestion may have proven accurate several times in a row, making Lumion unconsciously believe her completely. In the dead of night, Lumion entered the dream yet again and woke up there. He checked his pockets and confirmed that the 217 Vril d'Or and 25 kopay were still present. He then let out a long sigh, picking up an axe. Sal. He can't be nice even when doing that. Thank you, Sal. I don't know if you're here, buddy, but thank you, buddy. Motherfucker. How could there be anything special about him in such a wait. Letting out a sigh, Lumion picked up his axe and a steel fork and headed downstairs. The fire had already been extinguished. The clock continues when I'm not dreaming, Lumion frowned. How could there be anything special about him in such a real dream? The clock continues spinning was a common saying in the Dariedge region, meaning that time waited for no man. Wasn't the British kind on the island, or was it the prince? What are we talking about? Wiz Easy and Darren Str- Yeah, I know. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me just... Yeah. If I'm trusting the Discord, Darrow was also on the island. What island? In the bedroom he deemed safest, Lumion put down his tools and undressed. He walked to the full-body mirror attached to the wardrobe and checked out his body to see if there was anything different. Nothing out of the ordinary. Mentally special, Lumion wasn't in a hurry to put on his clothes. Instead, he walked back to the bed and sat cross-legged, like his sister often did while meditating. It's mediation. Sorry, I thought it was meditation for a second, then I realized no, it's mediation. Aurora had previously taught him some superficial meditation techniques that didn't involve mysticism elements to foster lucid dreams. Now, Lumion wanted to try and see if he could sense anything special about his body and mind in a completely quiet scene. The first thing was to regulate his breathing. He deepened his breath and slowed down. As he took slow, rhythmic breaths, Lumion emptied his mind. At the same time, he outlined a red sun in his mind and focused all his attention and thoughts to eliminate other messy thoughts. Aurora had instructed him to choose objects that represented light during meditation, in case he was targeted by vile, evil things. As a believer of EBS, Lumion's first thought was to visualize the sun. This guy and Derek are gonna get along fantastically, because Derek is probably gonna end up being like a Sequence 3 or 2 at this point. You can put on walls closing in. I think Kami said on chapter 20, but if it's not... Because he put it in the spoiler chat if someone can take a look for me. Check Discord General. I'll take a look, yeah. Gradually, his mind calmed down, and in this perception, the entire world seemed to have only the red blazing sun left. Suddenly, Lumion heard something. It seemed to come from an infinite distance away, yet rang in his ears. The sound was unclear, but had the inklings of thunder. Amidst the indescribable buzzing, Lumion's heart began to race. It was as if someone had inserted a chisel into his head. An intense pain erupted, and the blazing sun turned red. The scene in his mind shattered. Lumion's eyes snapped open as he gasped for air. Almost 20 seconds later, he finally recovered. He lowered his head and examined his body, noticing something strange on the left side. A symbol that looked like thorns, black as night, seemed to grow from his heart, extend from his body, connecting one after another like chains. What the fuck? Derek could not care less about EBS. No, I agree that Derek doesn't care about EBS, but he's gonna care about the sun, and because he's gonna be and Derek is gonna be so close to being the sun, he's gonna be like goated behavior. He's gonna love him. Just want, hello, how's it going, man? I appreciate you popping by. How's your Lord of the Mysteries read through coming? It's a Thorn thing from but isn't there another? There was another fucking God Says It's Effective actually. The Thorn Whips, I think, is probably what I'm thinking. Volume 3, nice. You think Derek is still a virgin? I don't know how many years it's been, but I gotta assume my boy got some of the huzz around him for getting them out of the city of silver, you know? If my man doesn't have any, like, doesn't have groupies after that, I don't know what a man's got to do to get some women in this bitch, but, like, that's crazy, okay? He saved them from, like, a 2,000-year-old curse, and if he doesn't have any bitches now, it's cooked. It's cooked. He quickly got off the bed and went straight to the mirror, aiming... Wait, hold on. Above these thorns were patterns resembling eyes and worm-like distorted lines, all bluish black. Don't say that, DSP. Don't say that. At this moment, the tattoo-like symbols were fading. Lumion was shocked and had many thoughts. He got off the bed and went to the mirror to check. He then tried his best to turn his head to check the situation on his back. He could barely see the chains made out of black thorns drilling from his body into his back. In other words, this chain of thorns sealed his heart and the corresponding body in the form of a ring. Lumion analyzed what was special about him that was unlike reality until the symbols disappeared. The black and bluish symbols are different. The bluish-black one looks familiar. It's very similar to the old man I helped when I was wandering. Eh? It was also from that time that I began to have dreams about the large amount of fog. Who is this old man that he helped? And the bluish-black symbol with the eyes makes me think it might be like the fool symbol, like the contorted symbols or the hidden eye or whatever, right? The fuck did this guy help? Is Klein back? And he was like walking around? And maybe he was like in the form of like Zaratul or something? Old man? The process of making them appear was extremely painful, pushing him to the brink of death. In a state that nearly knocked him out, what was the difference between facing monsters with a shotgun and delivering food to it? If he waited until he had the strength to fight again, the special trait would have disappeared. It was cold in the dream, like early spring in the mountains. Lumion found it uncomfortable being naked, so he put on his clothes. Just by doing a simple thing, he was extremely tired and his head hurt. Obviously, he couldn't recover from the impact the meditation had caused him quickly. Under such circumstances, Lumion decided to give up exploring for the night and not make any attempts. He would sleep and focus on recuperating. The sky was still dark when Lumion woke up. It could also be celestial worthy since we don't know if Klein won. Yeah, do we not? We don't know if Klein won, really? We do. The only question is whether Klein has already won or we need to wait a little bit longer until Klein does win. That's the only. It's either we win now or we win later. It's literally, that's the only option, okay? Looking at the darkness in his house and the redness near the curtains, Lumion recalled what had happened in his dream. I've meditated many times but didn't hear that strange sound or feel any pain. It's something special that only exists in the dream? He then followed the procedure and tried meditating again. The sun appeared in his mind and the chaos in his mind settled. A familiar meditation experience for Lumion. No sounds, no pain, no experiences. After a while, he ended his meditation, unbuttoned his shirt and looked at his heart. No symbols. Yeah, you have about a minute delay, Dr. Z. Indeed, that's a special trait of a dream. It can't affect reality. Lumion didn't know whether to be happy or sad. He raised his head to look at the curtain that blocked the windows. His thoughts scattered as he thought about whether the special trait in the dream could be exploited. At that moment, he saw a small shadow. His pupils dilated, turning high-strung as his instinct was to call out to his sister. But he recalled he was at home, and Aurora said she would watch over him, so she should have sensed it. Slowly and carefully, he approached the window, waiting for his sister to call, but Aurora didn't. Lumion came to the window, grabbed the curtains, and pulled them open. Outside the window, the crimson moon hung far away. On an elm tree not far, an owl, larger than most, stood facing Lumion. That owl. It is here again. Lumion's heart was in his throat. Just like last time, the owl looked at Lumion for about 10 seconds before spreading its wings and flying away. After a while, he drew the curtains and cursed. Is there something wrong with your head? You would come and take a look every time, not saying a word? Are you mute, or is there something wrong with your damn IQ? Have you not learned the human language after so long? In fact, Lumion had his own guesses about the owl. He believed that his sister's existence made it afraid to do anything. I don't know how strong your sister is, bro, but I think you're really overestimating her. His sister's gonna be like a sequence 7 Beyonder, which is like not bad, don't get me wrong, like mid-sequence and shit. But it's like, bro, it's a big world out there. Your sister ain't shit, brother. Calm down. If anything, you should really go up to that lady in the inn and be like, yo, can you protect me? The dream, I think, has something to do with, the dream, I think, has something to do with, Klein. Klein maybe wanting to add him as a, like, member of the tarot club or something. That's why Fours was there to give him the card. Fours said like, "Oh, I can't give you the major tarot, but here's the minor tarot." Like, you know, like sort of like like a test to say like, "Hey, if you can get through this, then you are worthy of joining our club, and then we can, you know, assist in your growth and such." The owl, I think, is something. I don't know. The owl, I don't know. I don't know. Aaron, any coffee suggestions? I'm gonna line at Starbucks. Oh, just make your own coffee, loser. Jesus Christ, Dr. Z, what the fuck? Aaron, at Starbucks, I always like to get, I don't know if you like watch your calories or anything, but I like to get a sugar-free iced vanilla latte. I always like it. I always like iced coffees, and that one's sugar-free. It tastes quite nice. Just me though. After cursing for a while, Lumion decided to close the curtains and catch up on some sleep. He casually glanced outside and froze. More than 10 meters away, at the edge of the small forest, a figure was standing, wearing a dark-colored dress made of coarse cloth, and her hair was thin and pale white. Naroka. It was Naroka, who he had asked about the legend of the warlock. Her face blended into the darkness, and her eyes reflecting a strange light under the faint moonlight. Her movements were stiff like a wandering ghost. 20 customs. Caramel Frappuccino. Perfect. I'll be back in just 2 seconds, guys. I just need to get something to drink. Give me 2 moments. Oh. Alright, did we get a coffee at 10 p.m.? Yeah, fuck it, we ball, you know. Mama ain't raised no bitch, brother. That's what I say.
Open your eyes, open up the clear blue sky. I'll be there to hold you close in my mind. Can you see the snow melting down the sea below? Celebrate a brand new day to start again. Silence, embrace my soundless way. Change the darkness into a flawless spring. No matter how you try to fly, the ice will bring you down again. Feel the night will die. Only time will tell. Open your heart to the place where dreams part. I'll be there to hold you close in my mind. Can you see the snow melting down the sea below? Celebrate a brand new day to start again. Open your heart to the place where dreams part. I'll be there to hold you close in my mind. Can you see the stars?
Hey guys, sorry about the wait.
Down the sea below. Celebrate a brand new day to start again.
Alright, let's go. Chapter 20, Customs. Lumion subconsciously held his breath and shrank back. Naroka didn't come in this direction early. Instead, she entered the small forest and disappeared. Lumion was worried. Something doesn't seem right. Did something happen? Recently, there have been more and more abnormalities in the village. He looked outside for a while, and the night had returned to silence. Only the swaying leaves proved the existence of the wind. What are you looking at? Aurora asked. Lumion turned around and was delighted to see his sister. Did you also notice something wrong? No, Aurora said. I don't see anything wrong. All I know is that there's a guy who's up in the middle of the night loitering at the window. It'll be dawn in an hour, tops. How could it be the middle of the night? Didn't you come over because of the owl? Didn't you see Naroka outside? Naroka? Lumion recounted all that had happened from the moment he woke up and realized that there was a black shadow out the window, which turned out to be strangely behaving Naroka. As for the special trait he discovered while meditating, he did plan to consult a mysterious woman before reporting it to Aurora, or maybe to hide it for a while. Aurora furrowed her brows. Something might have already happened to Naroka. Go, check on them at dawn. No worries, Unhinged. Appreciate you popping by, buddy. Have a good night. What could have happened? Lumion asked. How would I know? I didn't see her. There's no way I can make that judgment. You really didn't see her? Lumion thought his sister had been monitoring him. Do you think you can see whatever you want? If you see something you shouldn't, you have to consider which graveyard to bury me in. I won't look outside for no reason. I'll monitor you, and I'll wake up if something is wrong. Lumion was stunned and couldn't help but blink. Big sister is taking such a big risk watching over me. That's why I'm telling you, do not look at what you shouldn't see and do not listen to what you shouldn't hear. Pursuing powers is a dangerous thing. Got it, Lumion nodded. At that moment, he thought to himself, it's precisely because it's dangerous that I can't let you go at it alone. At least Aurora's no spectator, true. You know what I will say? I really hope we get to follow Melissa. Because you remember at the end of Lord of the Mysteries, we got to see that Melissa was like teaching her niece, nephew, niece, I think? Like she was doing like an incantation of the fool or something. So, and I think it was also implied, and then I think it was also, Melissa became like a savant, I think? I really hope we get to see them. I really do. Melissa and Benson. Benson, I'm sure, is just living an ordinary life with his like family and stuff, which is great. But like, I would love to see them. Just make sure they're doing okay. Raymond rumbled on... wait, hold on. After breakfast, Lumion followed his sister's instructions and headed to Naroka's house. As he approached, many villagers were standing outside, including his friends Ava's father, Raymond's father, and Padre's younger brother. What happened? Lumion asked. Naroka passed away. Eh? Lumion was prepared for something to happen, but he didn't expect her to die. Raymond rambled on. Before dawn, the Padre came to give her the last rites. She was fine and energetic 2 days ago, when we asked her about the legend of the Warlock. Why did she pass away? Before dawn? He realized that it was precisely at that moment he saw Naroka. The timing of the Padre's last rites didn't make much of a difference. Lumion's mind raced. Oh, DSV, when do I need to switch music? Sorry, let me get thing pulled up also. Lumion's mind raced with thoughts. So what I saw was actually Naroka's ghost? What happened after the owl flew over? Can it really take a human soul? Naroka was one of the few witnesses that saw what happened. If I hadn't listened to Big Sis and went out, I might have been the one who had their last rites read. His version of it is probably spitting at me. Raymond didn't chat with him. He stood outside the window, mourning Naroka. After Lumion reined in his thoughts, he saw Ryan, Leia, and Valentine. Did something happen? Leia asked. They saw many people gathered. Lumion sighed. My cabbages. An old lady has passed away. Then why are you all standing here? Leia asked without condolences, not fully convinced by Lumion's explanation. She was still wearing the same clothes. Lumion made an obvious sizing up gesture, which made Leia panic. What's wrong? Ryan asked. You're definitely not Dairy Edge locals. We're from Bigor, Ryan answered. Bigor was the provincial capital of Intis's Riston province, while Dairy Edge was a city on the southern border of Riston. Lumion nodded. It's no wonder you don't know the customs of this region. He had thought these three were officials from Dairy Edge, but they turned out to be from the provincial capital. What kind of customs? What can you tell us? Leia asked. You're my cabbages. Why wouldn't I tell you? As you know, everyone has their own corresponding horoscope, and in the Dairy Edge region, we also believe that every family has their own horoscope, and that determines the amount of providence they receive. The death and funeral of the family, especially the head of the family, will take away such good providence. In order to not affect the horoscope and retain the providence, we will place the deceased in the center of the family before burial, which is in the kitchen. Then we trim off some of their hair and nails to keep them in the house forever, without letting them be discovered by guests. What the fuck? At such a time, if a person attending the funeral enters the home, it will affect the corresponding horoscope and take a portion of the providence. Therefore, we attend the funeral by mourning outside. At most, we will look in from the door and wait at the cemetery beside the cathedral. I see, Ryan nodded. It's the same as how every cathedral in every region has holy bones stored. The sages forever where a part of their body is. He turned to face Naroka's house, removed his top hat, placed it against his chest, and began to mourn. That's a sweet gentleman. Leia and Valentine expressed their condolences as well. When they were done, Lumion said, I'm going to the door to look at her. I'll see you later, my cabbages. Okay. Dude, it's so weird how you can get used to anything. My man is saying, like, my cabbages, and it doesn't even, like, register. I'm like, oh, he just means, like, my friends. It's so cute. Lumion lowered his voice and added, I'll help you find that blue book. Before Leia and the others could respond, he stepped aside and smiled. Why do you wear the same clothes every day? We don't care about how we look when we're out in a foreign land for so long, Ryan explained. After bidding farewell to them, Lumion walked over to Naroka's door. That's not why they keep the bones? Oh, I guess. True. High sequence. Yeah, true. He had to queue for a while before it was finally his turn. Lumion stood by the door and looked at the kitchen ahead. Naroka's corpse had not yet been placed into a coffin, lying on a simple bed made of a few benches. Her nails had been trimmed and her thin white hair was much neater than before. Her face was pale and her wrinkles deepened. Lumion didn't dare look at her for too long. They keep the bone. I wonder if they keep a different... I see. On the way to the cemetery, Lumion slapped his head. Sacre bleu! I forgot to inform Aurora. What are you waiting for? Raymond asked. Aurora didn't enjoy being out most of the time. She really wasn't kept in the loop if not for her brother. Lumion saw an opportunity and said, coincidentally, this place isn't far from your place. Lend me your livre bleu for 2 days. A few pages of mine have been gnawed away by rats, so I need a copy. No problem, Raymond said. In any case, there was still some time before the burial. Lumion returned home and hid the blue book before informing Aurora of Naroka. As expected, something happened. I wonder if it's caused by that owl. I think so too, Lumion agreed. You must not leave the house after dark. Find a way to warn the people who seek out the legend with you. Alright, Lumion said. Naroka is a good person. I will change my clothes and attend her funeral. Do you want to come with me, or do you want to read some books and do a test? Oh, what's closing in? Thank you, DSV. Why am I still doing test sets at a time like this, Lumion thought. I'll do a paper before I go. Very good. Aurora was rather pleased. He went up to the second floor and entered his study, took out the blue book that he had borrowed from Raymond and compared it to the one at home. Time passed as Lumion pieced together the words that had been cut out and wrote them down. He made adjustments according to the length of the 2 sentences, and soon the contents of the possible request appeared in front of him. We need help as soon as possible. The people around us are getting weirder. I don't know. It seems like it would be Lumion that wrote this and not Aurora. Because I feel like if Aurora was writing this, she would write like, I need help, the people around me are getting weird. Whereas like, if he's writing this because he's a non-beyonder, he would write this as like, we need help because like me and my sister, we're special and like people have got an eye out for us. Whereas Aurora would be like, my brother's just he's a regular idiot. He's fine. Lumion fell silent, his eyes glued to the request. Although he had pieced together what wasn't necessarily the contents of the letter, after all, the words could create other sentences, like the people around us need help as soon as possible, we are getting weirder. He couldn't help but feel a weight pressing down on his heart. In the past, he might have dismissed it as a prank, but too many things had happened in Cordu, and those were the only ones he had noticed. I can't pretend I didn't see anything. Big Sis said that a person with a normal heart and mind needs to know how to avoid danger. They shouldn't stand under a wall upon discovering that it's about to collapse. He snapped out of it and made up his mind. He couldn't risk staying in Cordu a moment longer. He had to leave with his sister, now. Regarding the abnormality, the officials would handle it. The villagers of Cordu were under their protection, and Lumion had neither the duty nor the ability to take on such a responsibility. In addition, I had to speed up the process of the dream ruins and strive to obtain the superpowers quickly. The urgency of the situation filled him with a sense of imperative that he couldn't ignore. He needed to become much stronger if he wanted to protect his sister. The last thing he wanted was for her to be implicated in any abnormalities that might erupt. Keeping his mission in mind, Lumion returned the blue book to its original place, and snatched up the piece of paper containing the words and sentences before strolling down purposefully. He then made his way over to the stove, tossed the paper into the flame. Once outside, Lumion wasted no time, going straight to the old tavern. As he approached the door, he found it closed tightly, a clear indication that the owner and the bartender had gone to Naroka's funeral. But Lumion knew it as a part-time hotel. It was impossible to lock all doors during the day without inconveniencing the guests. So he headed for the side trail and slipped in through the back door. Climbing up the stairs, Lumion scanned the hallway but saw no one. He paused outside the door of the enigmatic woman, examining the doorknob for a do not disturb sign. Finding none, he exhaled and knocked on the door. Knocking 3 times, no movement. Another 3, no movement. Rapping more firmly, he pounded the door, but nothing. She's not here? She went to Naroka's funeral? Without wasting a moment, he bolted downstairs and made a beeline for the cemetery. En route, he passed by Naroka's house where the mourners who had said their farewells at the door had dispersed and gone to the cemetery. Lumion surveyed the area, his eyes scanning the landscape until he spotted a figure emerging from the home, none other than Pons Benet, the younger brother of the Padre. What? Lumion's heart skipped a beat as he leaned against a nearby building, trying to remain inconspicuous. Wasn't it strictly forbidden to enter the home of the deceased, as it could affect the family fortunes? Pons Benet stepped in front of Naroka's house and whispered to Arnaud Andre, the old lady's youngest son. After a brief exchange, Pons Benet departed, leaving Arnaud to lock up the house and make his way to the cemetery. Naroka's death seemed peculiar. He now felt that perhaps the owl wasn't to blame. It was more probable that the Padres group had something to do with it. The owl may simply be adhering to its duty of taking the soul of the dead. It just happened to stop by and observe Lumion. What the fuck are we talking about at this point? By the way, I want to say, this wall's closing in. Me and Easy have probably got to be contributing to like 5% of this whole fucking song's views. I don't want to take all the credit. I think Easy and I would split it even. Their peculiarities and clandestine activities can be attributed to the warlock remains. Before exiting Cordu, I should find an opportunity to share my thoughts with Ryan, Leia, and company. I hope they'll uncover the truth and put an end to the issue quickly. Lumion averted his gaze and mumbled to himself as he headed to the cathedral. Despite appearing somber and solemn, Lumion kept an eye-full watch on each of the villagers, hoping to discuss any abnormalities. Lucius, how's it going, man? Hoping to detect any abnormalities. Alas, it yielded no fruit. Nonetheless, he had a sneaking suspicion that some of the villagers had a facade on. Additionally, the enigmatic woman who had bestowed upon him the tarot card was nowhere to be found. As the evening descended upon the home, Aurora fixed her eyes on her brother. Where's your script? Let me see it. I have something to tell you, Lumion said. Did some wild animal chew your script again? No, I found something from those foreigners. Aurora's smile faded as she nodded. Lumion revealed how Ryan and the gang were snooping around, investigating a letter and the peculiarity of the blue book at home. He spoke of his suspicion regarding Madame Polly and the letter's contents, which she had unearthed. We have to leave the village and head to Dairy Edge. No, Bigor. We'll stay there for a while. Aurora didn't respond, mulling over the suggestion for over 10 seconds. That is indeed the best choice, but there is a problem. If we suddenly bolt from Cordu while the officials are investigating, it'll draw attention. Will they intercept us? Focus on us? It's fine if I'm not a Beyonder, but I'm an unofficial Beyonder. I'll be captured and cleansed. It is so good to finally hear, to see the words Beyonder instead of like a warlock and witch. Lumion was out of his depth, an amateur in a sea of veterans. The problem at hand was a conundrum he had never faced, and he was finally at a loss for words. So what's the plan? We break out, hide in another city? Another country? Lumion, you overestimate me. Those foreigners are far more powerful than you think. If there was a 1, I may be able to take them on. But 3? What if there's an ambush? Maybe they're just waiting for us to take a run. You're too impulsive. But I suppose that's to be expected. After all, what young man doesn't have a fire in his belly? Tomorrow morning, you're going to do me a favor. Head over to the administrator's office and help me send a telegram to Novel Weekly. Ask them where their next author salon will be held. Aurora was a beloved columnist for the Novel Weekly. Only the administrator and the pottery possessed a telegram reserved for emergencies. The villagers could use it, but at a cost in Verl Door. Aurora saw Lumion's confusion and explained, Novel Weekly has been begging me to promote my work in Trier, but I've always refused. But if I ask them to invite me, they'll jump at the chance and reimburse our train tickets. Our departure will seem ordinary, and even if we're being watched, we won't be suspects. I can trick them when the time comes, as long as the abnormality doesn't corrupt us. Oh, alright, Lumion said. In just a few seconds, Lumion posed an intriguing question. Aurora, Big Sis, is Beyonder a term for those with powers? Yes. So, you're really gonna abandon your friends and flee from Cordu? Aurora asked. I must have missed the part where that's my problem, Lumion snorted. Okay, Toby Maguire, my go. Keeping his sister safe was his top priority. Oh, Lumion, you are such a delight. Say that again, would you? How many times have you said that before, and yet every time you either quietly offer your help or give them a pretend warning? Those were trivial matters, Lumion defended himself. Okay. Not wanting to argue with the kid, let's get dinner ready. It's your turn to cook today. You just don't remember? I don't think so. It's possible, but I don't think so. The night was dark, and the crimson moon obscured by thick clouds. Lumion finished washing up and laying down on his bed. A visible worry crept on his face. Aurora's response wasn't bad, but Lumion was worried that about the anomalies in the village would erupt at any moment while they waited. Lumion was desperate to increase his strength and gain powers, but he hadn't been able to find that lady all day and didn't have any suggestions. The situation was like a knocked arrow ready to fire. Without hesitation, Lumion composed himself and fell asleep. Am I crazy, or composed himself and fell asleep sounds, in theory, so similar to Klein using... Fuck, what was the word that we always read? Like, Klein used he used a type of focus or whatever to get himself to fall... Cogitation. He used cogitation to fall asleep. Doesn't it sound so similar, in theory? Either we'll end on 22 or 23 today. We'll see what the chapters look like. If 22 is like a good ending off point, we'll end it here. If not, we'll go to 23. The translator is not the best, so it could be that, but maybe, kinda. I mean, the reason is that the dream world is not safe. No, I know. I just thought it was like a cute little, I don't want to say callback, but I can't think of a better word. Lumion awoke to the world shrouded in mist. With practiced ease, he bounded out of bed and rushed to the window, his gaze falling on the mountain, a towering behemoth that loomed in the wilderness beyond. Despite its modest size, a mere 20 or 30 meters, the mountain seemed to stretch endlessly upwards, piercing the heavens themselves. Getsuga Tensho? Sorry, bad joke. Getsuga Tensho is the name of like Ichigo's main like attack from Bleach, and Getsuga Tensho is like, I think it's a Japanese phrase for piercer of heaven, so piercing the very heavens. Beneath its massive form, the ruins of the dilapidated structure encircle the desolate wilderness, stacked atop one another, layer upon layer. Judging by the shotgun-wielding monster's build, I'd say it's highly skilled in both running and jumping. It also appeared to possess a high degree of intelligence, capable of wielding a weapon as complex as a shotgun. It has incredibly strong tracking abilities, and I can't discount the possibility that it has some kind of powers like a roar. Kid How, how's it going, man? I don't know if viewer's still here, but if he is, you might want to give him a thank you for the membership. I think viewer did leave though. As Lumion focused his mind, sneak attacks and assassination. Jesus. Hey Sal, I didn't know you were back. How's it going, man? His initial judgment was grim. If he attempted to face the monster with a shotgun, his chances of survival were a meager 10%. Where the fuck is he coming up with this number? And if he tried to, what do you think is that monster? The tracking one or the three-face one? The tracking one, I got no fucking clue now. Good, now I go again. Sounds good. Sal, isn't it like... Oh no, sorry, I keep thinking it's super late for you, but no, it's like midday. Sneak attacks and assassinations are not viable options either. The other party possessed an uncanny ability to track his movements, rendering any attempts at a stealth futile. Plus, Lumion lacked the necessary equipment to mount a ranged assault. A revolver would have been a godsend. Pray and ye shall receive. For the past 2 days, Lumion had racked his brain trying to come up with plans, and finally a solution presented. Traps. No clue? Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. Shotgun. I don't know, is it Gehrman? I don't know. He had ventured deep into the mountains with the village hunters where he had mastered the art of setting traps. Since then, Lumion had become a pro at pulling off a few practical jokes. Lumion's initial plan was to use oil as a weapon. His idea was to fill a large bucket with oil, tie a rope to it, and hide it high up. When his targets approached, he would yank the rope, causing the bucket to tip over, drenching the target in oil. He would then light a torch and toss it. But he gave up on that idea, on the premise that the creature had strong tracking abilities. He knew he had to overestimate its sense of smell. The smell of oil was obvious, and if he used other smells to cover it up, he wasn't sure if the other party would react differently. The other party might be able to distinguish even the slightest abnormalities, like dogs. In the end, Lumion chose to dig a deep pit and plant stakes. Hey, oldie but a goodie. I think this was a chosen favorite of Vlad the Impaler. He knew that there was a certain problem with this plan. With the tracking abilities displayed by the monster, there was a good chance it would discover the anomaly in advance. Lumion's response was to find a way to exploit its blind spot. His weapons were inferior to the creature, but he hoped his intelligence could give him an upper hand. At least from our last encounter, it possessed a degree of intelligence, but not high. But he refused to let this lull him into a false sense of security, going full Viet Cong. He would plan assuming that the creature had the cognitive ability of an average human being, someone's like Pons Benet. No, that guy's IQ is lower than a pile of rocks. If it wasn't for his goons, I'd have him bowing down to me. And calling me daddy is crazy. After a moment of contemplation, Lumion raised his expectations of the monster. Yes, treat it like an uneducated padre. He gazed out the window again, his eyes fixated on the wilderness between him and the dwelling. This place was closer to the safe zone, making it ideal for this hideout, but there was no cover, leaving everything exposed. It's fine to dig a trap, but if I use myself as bait, the other party will be able to spot me from a distance and shoot. It won't need to come over. His plan took shape. It would need a lot of time to dig a deep pit and plant stakes. Lumion didn't expect the other party to wait. After a moment, Lumion opened his eyes and made an embrace the sun gesture. My God, my father, please bless me and aid me in dealing with that monster. Praise the sun. There was no certainty for most things in the world, but Lumion didn't hesitate. He grabbed a pitchfork and axe and proceeded to the study. Considering the target's weapon, he knew he had to switch up his protective gear. He shed the cotton clothes and lashed hard-bound books to his chest with a rope. What in the makeshift paper armor? I mean, it's better than nothing, but I don't know how much this is going to do. He vaguely remembered that his sister warning him about the potential for internal injuries, but he couldn't afford to worry about that now. He'd stretched to make sure the weight of the books wouldn't impede him, then donned his leather jacket and headed to the ground floor. Not long after, Lumion's grip tightened on the shovel and a bundle of ropes at his waist, one for climbing and one for crafting rope nets. He breathed deeply, steeling himself for what lay ahead, and gripped the iron axe in his right hand as he opened the door. A faint grey fog crept through the wilderness as Lumion approached the mountain, the peak now dyed in blood. Paper is actually pretty good as armor. I mean, I guess because the sheer number of it, depending on what kind of book you have, maybe? With caution, he walked a distance to the side and tossed his shovels, pitchforks, ropes, and other gear into a dark corner of the collapsed building. With only his trusty axe in hand, he returned to the spot where he had entered the ruins. Moving quietly and deliberately, Lumion crept closer into the ruins. When he finally reached the spot where the three-faced monster had scared him off, he paused for nearly a minute. Halfway there, he began to detour, circling back towards the collapsed house where he had stored his tools. As he approached, Lumion scanned the terrain, searching for a suitable location. There's a relatively wide and short crevice here. With a light modification, it'll make an excellent trap. As for the other one, that one might take a while. But I just have to hope the monster won't find me. Lumion retrieved his shovel and other gear, and returned to his chosen location. After modifying the crevice, Lumion wielded his axe, sliced off a jagged piece of wood, then inserted it into a trap's base. He crafted a net from rope, draping it over the trap before covering it with soil, ensuring that it blended seamlessly. With everything in place, he began to mimic the monster tracking him. If the creature is as perceptive as I think it is, it will sense the trap and avoid it, perhaps leaping over it in a single bound. I need to be here, so it'll spot me the moment it arrives. Lumion measured the distance with his feet and confirmed his line of sight. He squatted there and confirmed his line of sight. He then began to dig a trap. This was a trap specifically designed for normal humans. Lumion knew that someone who had managed to track their target and easily realized that the other party had laid a trap, only to discover that the enemy was lying in wait, they'd probably get cocky. This low power combat, I agree, because this is like so much more methodical and thought out, whereas like you get into higher levels and it's like, oh, I stole the thought from your mind which allowed you to escape. Oh, well, yes, but I suspected you would steal that thought and I concealed it with a thought that I wanted you to steal, and now I have planted a bug in your brain and now your brain is short-circuiting. Well, you see, that is true, but there's a bug in my brain that allows the bug in my brain to die without affecting my brain. Like, what in the fuck are we even talking about? Lumion knew that when someone had managed to track down their target and easily... their thirst for success would overwhelm them. They'd ignore the possibility of a second trap, eagerly lunging at their prey. A classic flaw of people with pedestrian intelligence. Lumion just prayed that the monster didn't possess the average IQ of a human. If it did, he had no choice but to bolt. Odds were he'd be ensnared and left to die in the wild, with a slim chance of making it back to the house and hiding. Cordu's abnormality had forced him to make a choice. With every moment, Lumion grew wary. Even though he had set up a second trap, the monster had yet to make an appearance, the same for other monsters. At last, Lumion relaxed, spread his arms wide and said, "Praise the sun!" Lumion shrank back against the wall and fell to his knees, fixating on the first trap. There was no clear line of sight to the path he took, obstructed by a collapsed building. He waited there, his heart pumping in his chest. Lumion could feel the adrenaline pumping through his veins. As a vagrant, Lumion had encountered his fair share of enemies who were bigger and brawnier than him, but they weren't looking to kill him, they just wanted his grub, dough, and a nice spot to catch some sleep. Even if someone happened to die in a scuffle, it was chalked up to an accident. Grub, dough, and Z's. These are very non Lord of the Mysteries types words. Like maybe Money, you have a point. He might be a transmigrator, man. This is weird. Grub, dough. But now, the adversary he was up against was a monstrous creature that didn't abide by human laws or morals. And it was exponentially stronger than Lumion. Hell, it might even have powers. If his schemes went sideways, the outcome was all but certain. Lumion's heart felt like it was about to leap out of his chest. Everyone wanted to live a good life, and Lumion was no exception. He tried to steady his breathing, but it didn't help. Lumion hoped the monster would appear, and though he dreaded its arrival. Dude, that is like the worst feeling in the fucking universe, when you just want something to fucking happen, but you're also so fucking scared, and you're like, God damn it, don't happen. It's like the feeling that comes to mind, obviously this is like X100 or whatever, but the feeling that comes to mind is like if you're doing like a presentation or something, and let's say you really hate presenting, because like I didn't like presenting in grade school. I didn't like presenting. High school and uni, I actually had fun because I became a little bit more extroverted. It didn't bother me as much. But it'd be like if you had to present and you're like, and you hate presenting, and it's a presentation you didn't really prepare for, and you just did like fucking last minute. And instead of just being able to pick, wait, sorry guys, give me 1 second. Instead of just being able to pick like, hey, can I go first or whatever, the teacher will instead be like, oh no, we'll pick randomly. And you're like, oh my God, this is fucking cancerous. So like you have to sit there and the teacher's like, well, who's gonna be next? And you're like, fucking just pick me and get it over it, but don't pick me. I don't fucking want to do this. Yeah, it's like, oh, the most cringe shit in the universe. Oh my God, that was fucking, ugh. You like presenting? I got used to it in time, but like when in grade school I was quite introverted. I'm still quite introverted by nature, but like it doesn't bother me quite as much. But like in grade school it used to piss the shit out of me. Holy fuck. Your name starts with AB, so you're always first. Ah, true. At least he wasn't as anxious. Wait, on the one hand, it would bring him a quick resolution, regardless of whether the outcome was good or bad. At least then, he wouldn't be as anxious as now, almost to the point of breaking down. On the other hand, fear gripped him tightly. Realizing that he couldn't go on like this, he reminded himself, I can't burden Aurora with my fears. With that, he attempted to meditate, focusing all of his energy on the task. Although it proved more challenging than before, Lumion eventually managed to outline the Crimson Sun in his mind. The mere sight of it eased his nerves, yet he was still trembling. Suddenly, he heard a faint rustling sound. It was as if a shepherd was approaching quietly and through a nearby pasture, hidden from view. Alright, we're gonna leave it there because I feel like after this it's gonna like pick up a lot, and there's not gonna be a good place to end for the next couple of chapters. God, fucking, I really hope Luvion gets caught up and then he can tell me chapter ranges soon. God, I got so used to him. Luvion, I miss you, buddy. Every time I'm doing a presentation, I already memorize the whole thing, like an hour of memorizing word by word. Oh no, I don't do that, dude. I've tried, and that shit cringes the fuck out of me, because like if I'm running a tape in my mind, if I stutter over a word, the entire tape collapses and I'm like, so like I prefer to just like have like rough notes, like, hey, these are the things I want to mention, and then just kind of talk. Because if I have a script in my mind, if I fuck it up, the script falls apart and it's like Jenga blocks. It's like Jenga. It's like a Jenga tower with like one shaky block at the bottom, and the whole thing just fucking crumbles. I can't. It was art sent to singular. No worries. Let me take a look. Like, Holly. Oh shit. Done for the day. Yeah. Well, I think we'll leave it there, Aaron. The key is to completely turn your brain off. I've tried. I can't. Whore. Ali. That's crazy. Oh. Oh. Wait. Oh. Puta in Spanish. Oh, of course. That's so cute. Damn, she pretty though. I stress so much about presentations and such. I hate them. Damn. Yeah, no, I'm so glad to have that shit done with. But again, I didn't mind that much in uni. You turn your brain off if you don't have a brain. Based. Check general 2 for Dyer's meme. Dara's meme is hilarious. Hold on. Ooh, general. This is based. Wait, hold on. Meet Miss Goonette Sparrow. Some examples of her misspelling: Vapier, less, I assume that's lesson. Statistic. Oh, that's where we got statistic from. I see. QQQ. Tomorrow, let's go until 31. That's a lot of chapters, bro. I'll try. The spoiler chat, anytime she makes a theory, she's burnt. And the eternal jester of chat, the queen that presides over the short bus. Oh, cute. The HIV nightmare of... What the... Excuse me? Give me liberty, give me fire, give me a lagging stream or I retire. Based. Yeah, we'll stream tomorrow, Dr. Z. Asking a genuine thoughtful question. What's a Beyonder? We're going on a sea adventure? I found the writing in COI somehow more sophisticated. Adam, how's it going, man? Shit, I better stall the stream then. Or wallahi, I'm finished. Based. Alright, boys, we'll end stream there. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Bye, boys. And girls. Because Dr. Z is here, I have to say that. It's mostly just boys, okay? Bye, guys.